Welcome everybody to another special video for the Dad at Arms channel. I am your host, Dad at Arms, so go by Colt. The last video I brought to you guys, we were talking about the new Revolution poster that was revealed, and today I'm going to do a quick analysis of the final Revolution trailer that was released today. This is the final bit of, I guess, the final bit of marketing for Revolution before it premieres on the 25th in like 2 weeks. So this is it. We're in the home stretch towards Revolution. So this trailer dropped this morning. It's very cool, very very exciting. I've been waiting for this for a while, and there's so much to talk about in this, and there's so much to be excited about, and I feel like I'm rambling already because I'm just really excited. This is amazing. This is awesome. This is exciting. You're probably going to hear me use those words multiple times throughout that video, or this video. See, I'm already stumbling over my words. Anyway, let's jump right into it so you don't have to listen to me ramble all night. But here we go. So I'm going to. There we go. Okay. So I put together some images that I pulled from the trailer, and I just kind of want to go through them real quick and talk about them. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this analysis. I have thoughts, I have theories, I have speculations about what is going on here. Throughout this whole trailer, what's going on for the story of Revolution, and good thing we don't have to wait that long to finally see it. But that's not going to stop us from doing our best to speculate. So, first off, I wanted to showcase this beautiful landscape art. We have a Horde dropship there in the sky, surrounded by multiple Horde ships. Below, we see the newly remodeled Gray Skull. It looks like it has been on the Horde Makeover channel. It's got those bat wings. It's got that cybernetic look to it with all the circuitry and stuff running through it. It looks absolutely spectacular. You know, Thinking as a toy collector, I mean, this castle would be amazing if they ever made a playset out of this. Yeah, that would be incredible. But I also want to draw some attention to, kind of the lower left-hand corner here. We see Prince Adam and Cringer standing there looking out over this landscape. He's not He-Man here. Cringer isn't Battle Cat. He's just in his Prince attire that we see in the trailer, the black funeral garb we see. If you've seen the trailer, you know what's going on with it. It starts out with, showing Randor's death. So this is obviously sometime after that. He's still wearing his funeral clothes, but he's looking out over the landscape. So I don't know how early on this Horde invasion occurs, but it seems from this shot that it happens pretty quickly. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful art, beautiful landscape. I mean, this is amazing. The colors, just the design. Oh, it's so cool. Another really cool thing we see, regarding the Horde and the Horde invasion and all that, not only do we get Hordak in Revolution, but we also get some of the Horde. We have Mantana, we have Grizzlor, and we have Leech that showed up in the trailer. This is really cool. This is exciting. Obviously, I hope they make toys for all three of these guys because I love them. They look awesome. They're intimidating. They're scary. I always felt like the Horde members, as a kid, I always thought that the Horde members were just a little bit more frightening than Skeletor's usual crew of misfits and villains. I don't know. They just seem more feral, more animalistic, more vicious. So anyway, it's cool to see them appearing in this new series. So that'll be fun to see them. All right, moving on. Here's another quick landscape shot. This is obviously in Eternos. We see our heroes, kind of gathered together there on this balcony overlooking the city. We have Cringer, we have Duncan, we have Andra, the new man at arms. We have Orco. We have Prince Adam. We see a person there in the cloak, kind of standing next to Andra and in front of Adam. I'm not sure exactly who that is. Obviously, because of the cloak, it could be Queen Marlena. It could be Tila. Um, could be somebody we don't know yet. But it's obviously interesting. But I also want to draw some attention to the two trees that are in the foreground. If you look between the two trees, there's a figure standing there. It's kind of hard to tell. I'll zoom in on it. But it looks like, to me, it looks like what we saw in, some of the leaked images of the toys. That looks like Keldor to me. It looks like, there's some white hair there on the back of his head. I'm not sure. This is me just guessing, but that looks like Keldor to me. So obviously this brings up the question, isn't Keldor who Skeletor was before he became Skeletor? So how can Keldor be there? I'm not entirely convinced what we are seeing and what we are expecting Keldor to be. I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to be exactly as we expected. I think they're kind of playing with our expectations here and what we assume Keldor to represent. I have my own theories about that. I don't really know if I want to throw too many of them out there, but my general idea is that this Keldor is a disguise, magical or practical. I'm not sure, but I think this is a disguise worn by Skeletor to gain the trust of the heroes and situate himself in a position to become king and to take the throne through more peaceful means, through deceit, deception. That's my theory kind of about what's going on, but there are other things that show up later that probably shatter this theory to pieces. That's just one of the thoughts I've had. I'm not entirely sure I want to take the Keldor leak at face value. Okay, so we have a new design here for He-Man. We've already seen him in his classic battle harness. We've seen him in the battle armor in the previous teaser, and it was revealed to us, early that the battle armor would be in this way back in July during San Diego Comic-Con. The toy was shown off. And I also talked about it in an interview with Rob David after San Diego Comic-Con about the battle armor and why it's in the show. And he basically said, it has a story purpose. Andre creates it for him. It has the revolving mechanic that was on the toy. But this design, this is a brand new design for He-Man. It looks very kingly. It gives off a King He-Man vibe. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's definitely an evolved version of He-Man. We see the sword he's holding is the enhanced or upgraded power sword that came with the Orco and Gildor 2-pack. And he's got the skull pauldron on his shoulder. He's got the cape. Overall, it's just a really cool design. He's got longer hair tied back in a braid, behind his head. Can't see it here, but we see it in other parts of the trailer. I think it's fantastic. Obviously, he's fighting Skeletor based on the dialogue. This is another thing I wanted to draw attention to, and this was actually pointed out to me. Let me bring it up real quick. This was pointed out by somebody on Twitter, and that's where I took these images from. But this is essentially the same design. The chest symbol is the same design as what we saw on the CGI Netflix series for He-Man's symbol design. Let's see here. Where did I see that? There we go. This comes from a Twitter user that goes by the name of Cam Dam. And I hope I pronounced that right. Seems pretty straightforward. Yeah, Cam Dam is the name of the user. So they pointed this out to me. Thank you for that, Cam Dam. Appreciate it. And very good eye. But yeah, it's cool. It's the CGI, chest symbol design that we see on this new version of He-Man. Okay, we also get a glimpse at the new version of Skeletor. Um, he's wearing the crown. His face is no longer, cybernetic. He doesn't have the circuitry running through anymore. But he's got some glowing arms, and in a later shot, we see him where he's actually got, he's been able to transform his arms into some type of blade weapons. Um, I don't know if that's like a permanent look or if that's something he can do at will, where he can manifest, these blades on his arms. But what's really cool about this is the color scheme that they're using for this Skeletor. And 2000X fans, at least, who are aware of the toy line will recognize this color scheme going on. But this is Disco Skeletor. I'm going to remove this real quick and bring it up. There we go. Yeah, this is good old Disco Skeletor from the 2000X toy line with that bright orange, goldish color, the metallic chest area, the black legs and arms. Very, very cool that they're bringing that reference in. I think it's cool. But yeah, see, we have the black legs, we've got the gold on the shoulders and around the groin area. Very cool. Now, speaking of 2000X, I wanted to draw attention to He-Man's sword here. Um, Again, this is obviously the upgraded sword from Gildor and Orco, but it's very cool because it looks like it can transform and kind of change shape a little bit, which is very, very reminiscent of. I'm going to pull this off the screen again real quick, which is also very reminiscent of, obviously the 2000X power sword that was, a mechanical, technological version of He-Man's sword that in the show the hilt would pivot and open up during the transformation scene. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a cool reference, another reference to bring in. Um, Obviously, from what we see here, it still maintains the classic shape of the classic power sword we know and love, but it definitely has this element of magical, technological transformation going on, which is super cool. And to further talk about 2000X, and this kind of goes back to when I was talking about Keldor, we have this horrific and painful looking face melting scene. Obviously, people who know the Keldor story and how Keldor becomes Skeletor, I'm sure many, many fans out there who saw the trailer were immediately thinking that, this is Keldor becoming Skeletor. Now, I don't know if this is a flashback. I don't know if this is, a false flashback as told by Skeletor. I don't know what's going on. I have my own theories, but I'm probably completely wrong about it. But this is very much, brings to mind Keldor having his face melted off and transforming into Skeletor. And to further, um, to give further evidence to that, here we have what looks like another flashback sequence of Horde and Keldor slash Skeletor fighting. Now, the colors of Skeletor, who is the figure flying through the sky, is the black cloak and the black loincloth with the red trim, and then the black and red boots. And the only reason I don't, that this probably isn't Skeletor, but might be Keldor, is because on the toy of this Horde Skeletor, he has the clawed feet in this animation here, and I'll zoom in. Hopefully, you can see it. But these are boots, not the clawed feet with the shin guards. These are, full calf boots going on here. So, I mean, very well could be Keldor and Hordak going at it and coming to blows, and that results in, Keldor getting his face melted off and becoming Skeletor. I really like this classic looking design here of Hordak. He's got these energy weapons that are cool. I really, really hope we get him in toy form because it's always Hordak is such a menacing character, and I love the dark gray color scheme. I like it more than the blue color scheme that we were used to with Filmation, but that's just a personal preference. So hopefully we'll see this version of Hordak in the Masterverse line with these, weapons, this energy sword and shield. That would be really cool. And now let's talk about Tila. Just want to take a moment and appreciate this shot. Here we have Tila, in her snake armor with the green skin. It's a good shot. It's a very good shot. All right, enough joking aside. Yes, it's a butt shot. Okay, here we go. Let's really talk about Tila. We've seen her in. We saw her in the poster in this design with the snake armor and the green skin, and I love this design. Tila in her snake armor has always been my favorite, version of Tila, just because it's so iconic and it goes back all the way back to the vintage toy where she came with the snake armor. I've always wanted to see her wear the snake armor in animation form, and we finally have it. Now, a lot of people, obviously are bringing up, that this is the Green Goddess and not Tila, but, this is 100% Tila. This was another thing that Rob David talked about during our interview together, where he said that Tila would, get new powers, and with new powers, she gets a glow up, and that he hopes we like the color green. And so here she is with the green skin, with her glow up, wearing the snake armor, obviously controlling new magic. And as the synopsis for Revolution states, she goes to the realm of dark smoke, the mists of dark smoke, in in pursuit of ancient snake magic. We also saw in the previous teaser, and I talked about this in my other video, but we saw her, communing with Granamir, who is the Lord of Dark Smoke, the kind of, watches over that realm, protects that realm, and the secrets therein. But we saw him with his outstretched claw, and magical green tendrils engulfing Tila, like he's, giving her this power. And so we see her here. I also want to draw attention to what she is using as weapons here. She has both the Staff of Zoar and the Staff of Ka that she is dual wielding, and it looks amazingly badass and cool. She does all these cool twirl moves with it, and I don't know, it looks cool to see her wielding these staves. Again, I said this in my previous video about the staff, the Ka staff. I think this probably has a big part to do with her quest and her side story of what she's trying to do. Obviously, it looks like she's collecting these artifacts, these staves of power, if you will. She already has the Zoar staff, by virtue of becoming the sorceress of Grayskull that she inherits from her mother. And now she has the Staff of Ka that she likely gets when she takes on this new snake magic. So we'll see what that leads to. And speaking of Granamir, we have an amazing shot of Granamir here, and it looks like he's fighting this creature. And this is one of the creatures that we saw. We saw it in this new trailer, but we were introduced to it in the teaser trailer. It was this massive, cyber organic, biomechanic monstrosity that seemed to be towering over Andra, the new Man-at-Arms, and Orco. And so this might be a continuation of that scene where Granamir arrives to help them, and we see Granamir towering over this creature with his claw, up above him, ready to attack and swipe. So seeing Granamir in action and in battle, helping the heroes, would be amazing. And it very much looks like that's what's happening here. So, and we also had the reveal today that Granamir is not voiced by William Shatner, as many people assumed. He is actually voiced by another Star Trek alum, John Delancey. So, very cool. And of course, we have Gildor and Orco together here in this quick shot of them. It looks like they're charging into battle, or maybe Gildor is chasing Orco with the power sword. They've been described as their relationship is they are frenemies. So maybe this is just Gildor getting sick of Orco's nonsense and going after him with the power sword. Either way, it's fun to see these guys. Griffin Newman did such an amazing job as Orco in Revelation, and it's going to be incredible to see him back as the new confident, empowered Orco / Oracle, or Orco the White, whatever you want to call him. We also have Gildor here, who some people are also, speculating that is voiced by William Shatner, because we don't know who the voice of Gildor is yet. At least most people don't know. I might have something here behind me. I just happen to have this awesome Orco and Gildor 2-pack that I received as a gift. And on the front of it, it has, I don't know if you can see that, but look at that. It has a signature on there. That's Griffin Newman's signature. He signed Oracle for me, and I wonder if somebody signed where Gildor is sitting in this package. I'd love to tell you guys who Gildor is, but I promised that I wouldn't, so that remains my secret. I will lock it away in the vaults of Grayskull for now. Hopefully one day you guys will figure out who Gildor is, and that will be revealed to you as well. So moving on. And finally, we come to my absolute favorite part of this trailer. Anybody who has, followed my channel, watched my videos, listened to me on Twitter or Instagram, looked at my photos, anybody who's listened to me talk about Masters of the Universe knows that I love Adam and Tila, He-Man and Tila as a couple. My wife and I, when we got married 17 years ago, we had He-Man and Tila action figures as our wedding cake toppers, and I still have them sitting on my shelf behind me. They are the vintage figures. Everybody likes looking at toys, right? So I still have these vintage figures that my wife and I used as our cake toppers 17 years ago. So there's the happy couple, and I am just over the moon excited by what I'm seeing here. I feel like this was tailor-made for me. I feel like the folks over at Netflix and Mattel know how much I love these two together, and this feels like it was custom made to satisfy me. And if it was, thank you very much. But I know I'm not the only one out there that loves Adam and Tila together as a couple. But here they are in their full glory. That is a look of love and affection between them. Adam is holding his arm up as he says the words, "By the power of Grayskull." He's got his arm around her. And if we look closely, this is a transformation scene. If we look at the silhouettes there engulfed within the magical energies generated by the sword of power, we see a silhouette of Adam with his sword raised above his head, and then in his arm he's holding on to Tila. So it looks like they are in the midst of this transformation together, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It just makes me so happy. When I saw this, I audibly gasped out loud that they put it in the trailer, just front and center. It is very apparent that Adam and Tila are a romantic couple in this series, and as they always should have been since the beginning. If you're interested, you can go back and watch my nearly 3-hour video that I did last February with Maria dos Lunas, where we talked exhaustively about the entire history of Adam and Tila, He-Man and Tila as a romantic couple, with over 40 years worth of lore and material, comics, vintage comics, toys, cartoons, storybooks, all kinds of stuff that we were able to find evidence for and pull from. So this is the first time in animation form we actually see this romance, moved forward as a story element. We saw lots of hints of it in the Filmation series. We saw hints of it in the 2000X series. We obviously saw in the Eternity War comic series that ended with Adam and Tila getting married. But this is the first time in animation we actually see them portrayed as a romantic couple, an official romantic couple. And if anybody out there from Mattel is listening, I would love to see this moved forward, and don't hide it anymore. People love to see this kind of stuff. I love to see this stuff. I know I'm not the only one, and I know I am talking and rambling and going on and on about this, but this is amazing. And I'm pretty sure that this February, you're going to get another Valentine's Day special specifically devoted to what's happening here in Revolution and how Revolution plays out for these two. But I love this. I, you know, I've been grinning all day ever since I saw this, and it's amazing. And again, that double transformation for them is just beautiful. So anyway, that's really about all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to keep it fairly short. We've run for almost 25 minutes. This will probably clock in close to 30 minutes by the time I get done with all my edits, but thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is what a wonderful way to start the new year, moving into Revolution and being excited about a new show. We get new He-Man, guys. It's on our screens. It's amazing. It feels good. I'm happy to be a fan. I'm excited to be a fan. This is amazing. And you're going to hear me talking about this for months to come. I have amazing guests planned. We've got lots to talk about. And at some point, I'll probably do an episode by episode analysis and breakdown of Revolution. So thank you for tuning in for this analysis video of the trailer. Again, I just love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You're amazing. You make this worth it. Please leave a comment. Please share the video. That always helps me. Subscribe. That always helps me. Oh, and I do need to get on the ball about drawing the winners for the giveaway. So if you haven't entered the giveaway yet, you still can. I haven't done the drawing yet. So to do that, you need to, like and subscribe to my channel and my social media accounts, which is on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find them in the descriptions for all my videos. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment. That makes me aware of your name and that you're interested in these things, in these toys. And for those of you who don't know what they are, since this is the Dad at Arms channel, I have a Turtles of Grayskull Man at Arms figure that I'm giving away. And I have a Masterverse New Eternia Man at Arms figure that I'm going to give away. So 2 lucky winners. Support me. I'll give you some stuff. I can't think of a better way to give back to you guys. I had a fantastic 2023. I set a lot of lofty goals for myself, and I feel great. I smashed all of my goals that I set for myself, and I'm very, very proud of myself. And I've loved it. This has been a ride, and I can't wait to keep doing it more. I can't wait to keep talking about Masters of the Universe. I love this stuff. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. This has been Colt, or Dad at Arms, with the Dad at Arms channel. And I'll probably be seeing you after the Revolution. Good journey.